Hello, my name is Dr. Brian Raid, and I'm a naturopathic doctor, and this is a video about modified citrus pectin and its binding capacities. Just before I jump into the video, in case you're watching this video on YouTube and there was an ad before the video, just please note that I don't receive any financial compensation from YouTube, nor do they ask me ahead of time which videos I'm okay with them or which ads I'm okay with them featuring prior to my videos. So with that out of the way, so binders are incredibly important for many patients when we're working with mold treatment protocols, when we're working with heavy metal detoxification protocols. Sometimes when we're working with intestinal, antimicrobial intestinal protocols, binders can be really, really useful because they bind stuff up. They bind up the toxins or toxicants that have been processed and put into the intestinal tract, and then ultimately help to sequester them until it kind of sort of tuck them out of the way, if you will, or neutralize them, if you will, until it's time to actually leave the body through a bowel movement. And so binders are really useful. The reason that I entitled this video, sort of I haven't actually come up with the title yet, but I'm going to say something about it being a very special binder, is that modified citrus pectin, to my knowledge, at least some modified citrus pectin products are unique in that they're able to actually get into the bloodstream. And I think that that is why clinically the properties of modified citrus pectin can be very different than the properties that I see with other binders. Other binders, to my knowledge, just stay sequestered in the intestinal tract, so like activated charcoal, bentonite clay. With chlorella, I think that does get into the circulatory system as well, at least to some extent, because I have had patients who have taken mega doses of chlorella and their sweat turns green. Now, I do wonder, is that actually the full chlorella getting into the bloodstream and into the lymphatic system and whatnot, or is that just the chlorophyll? And I really don't know. I can definitely say that the binding properties of chlorella that I've seen have not been nearly as clinically impressive as they have been for modified citrus pectin, at least in my experience. So with modified citrus pectin, the reason that I say some modified citrus pectin products get into the bloodstream is that, to my understanding, modified citrus pectin has to be of a certain molecular size in order to be able to actually get into the bloodstream. And I'm thinking about it just before I hit record on this video, and I think it's 8,000 kilodaltons, might be 10,000 kilodaltons. I can't remember off the top of my head, but in any event, or maybe it's 8 to 10,000 daltons. Anyways, it's very, very small. And at the end of the day, not every product or not every company that provides modified citrus pectin as a product is able to confirm that the molecular weight of their product is of a certain size. So there are certain products, certain companies that have that molecular size guaranteed, so to speak. And there are certain companies whose products are what have been used in studies looking at the therapeutic properties of modified citrus pectin. So anyways, they're not necessarily all created equal, to my understanding. So the things that I have seen, or the clinical observations that I have made when patients are working with modified citrus pectin, is that some patients find that it really helps to reduce their symptoms of brain fog. It really helps to reduce inflammation levels, and so whether that's manifesting as headaches, whether it's manifesting as joint aches and pains, muscle aches and pains. Sometimes it can help to mitigate skin symptoms that a person might be experiencing, whether it's itchiness, rashes, hives, eczema flares, that type of thing. But really the way that but with that being said, if a patient came to see me and they had they just were, as many of my patients are dealing with, like headaches, aches and pains and this and that, I wouldn't necessarily find that, oh, the modified citrus pectin on its own is making a big difference. It's more, if they have an issue with mold mycotoxins in their body, if they're having an issue with an excessive release of, say, heavy metals or other toxins in their body, or if they're being exposed to those things, that's when it seems to be the most valuable. So in other words, when there's something to bind, then it seems to be quite useful. Or is, say, there are things floating around that need to be bound up because of something that we've done therapeutically. So we're doing chelation therapy, or they're on a mold detoxification protocol, mold treatment protocol. Then if we're stirring up too many mycotoxins or stirring up too many heavy metals or maybe other chemicals, then that modified citrus pectin can be really useful. So I feel, based on my clinical experience and what I understand from the research literature on it, I feel that modified citrus pectin is quite a special binder because it does have that systemic binding capability. So that's why I think that it's so special. So I hope this information was interesting. If anybody has any questions about this topic or about anything else, feel free to post in the comment section below, and I will answer the question if I'm able to.